Okay, we're back. As said, we're gonna show some new features that we have up our sleeves for the next releases. We're thinking about like the next two releases. Both of them are really big and really major. And the first one I will show is the thing that we've been thinking for a long time, and also a lot of people requested this. We're actually working and in pretty good progress on doing cables offline, so a standalone application that will give you the editor and all the features, most of the features that you have with the online version, the browser-based version, and then some. And this is just to a further step to have cables turn completely open source after we got the offline version. So whenever you work on patches, be it online or offline, you can just export them, put them into a folder and maybe your cabinet at home, and come back in 10 years and still play and edit these features. So let me quickly show how it's going so far.
Wow.
And so we move here. What?
Or at Alt-Tab.
There we go. So what we're currently working on is packing the cables UI and cables core.
Are you sharing your screen?
Are we not? Wait a second.
I don't see anything.
But we are recording the right thing. We're just not sharing it. Sorry, that's my thing. Okay, now you should see it.
Is this right?
Yeah, this is okay.
Thanks.
Sorry, thanks for telling us.
So we're trying to pack the whole cables UI and cables ops into Electron, the go-to place to have something like a browser as a standalone app, and also for us to not go crazy by developing two different ecosystems for the cables editor and everything. So right now I can start this this Electron project, and you see this is not a browser. This is a standalone app, and it welcomes you as you would be in the cables editor. It has like nice menu things. You can reload your patch, and you can also just go start and patch. All the ops that cables brings in the core are there. We're currently working on, okay, so even saving actually works and reloading works. Reloading works. And if I now quit this application and restart it again, I'm in the editor again. My editor settings are saved, and I can create new empty patch, which is then a distinct project from what we have, what we had before. But the most awesome feature at the moment is that we can open a patch, which basically is just an export. So we exported this from, let's take this one, I think. No, sorry, what?
Got the details maybe. List. Date edit. This one. No, this one. Sorry. Just this one.
Okay, so let's take this one, and we just exported this patch and kept the backups enabled. So we get this JSON file, and we're then able to open this in the offline version and just work on that. I'm just moving around stuff here because I don't know what all of this does. And this again, I can save and also then quit this Electron application and reopen it, and then just continue working on this offline version of the patch. So this would be the use case if you finish a project and you want to be sure that you can edit it, and don't want to rely on us being super backwards compatible or not updating ops and stuff. So you can, with this, you can export your patch and open it in a fixed version of this application, and then continue working on it later on.
Yeah, it's also like what you saw is like this is the native operating system file open dialog. So the patch now lies as a JSON file on your hard disk, and there's no connection needed at all. And also think about if you want to VJ and you don't want to rely on internet connection and all this kind of applications are really doable then.
And this is not really integrated right now, but working in Electron, not having problems with like course or file permissions or any permissions at all, we will be able to eventually integrate this native native dialog for picking assets here. So basically, this doesn't matter anymore. You don't need to upload it. You just pick it from your hard disk, or can even exchange it underneath by some scripts or jobs that run at a certain time. And there's plenty of more room, so we're also investigating to how to use native modules that are then actually in JavaScript. So if you find some npm modules that can be used on your machine, often requested, or something like OSC and MQTT and MIDI and all these operators, that then might be possible in an offline version of cables, and also be then integrated into extensions and be usable in this offline version. And why are we doing this, and
It's
how
big.
is this?
It,
How is this
it's big.
Sorry?
I mean, it's a big thing, right? It could be so that you're saying by if you, I mean, imagine having extensions, then all the world of the backend stuff is open, right? Like anything can,
Yeah,
in a way, right?
you don't have those problems with cross-origin reference error messages
Yeah.
because they just work like that. And then in the future, we want like native NPM, so you can connect to your Kinect or whatever hardware directly without having like WebSocket proxy, all this kind of stuff. So yeah, it enables like the whole world of native NPM kind of software will be open to cables then. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that's great. And can you, like, this is the editor, but is there a way to, like, when you have the patch on standalone and it's an, how do you manage so it runs in an app, right? Just without the editor, just the final outcome?
I mean, we have that. There's like this export, which interesting. No, okay, that's actually okay.
Yeah.
You can export as an Electron version. We will
Yeah,
also.
already, right? It's
Yeah.
the same thing
Yeah.
that
But
you have online, right?
I think also, I think it would be awesome if you just switch to full screen and then with the next start, it stays in full screen. So you can just edit your stuff and put it back to full screen, and then it will be full screen on every restart of the machine or something. And then you would just have the editor like in the executable. And yeah, I think it should be as easy as that basically. Or you use the exporter and use just an Electron player, but you can just bring the editor everywhere. Yeah.
And that being said, so how is this next step, or maybe even the final step to making cables open source? So this is now using the same, and with the same I mean actually the same code that the browser is using for the editor and all the UI, and also the same code that same ops, same code for cables core and ops loading and everything that's in there. It's just a thin layer of doing all the API calls and permission checks that we don't need anymore while we're on local. And this would then also give the possibility for people to, once they are open source, check out the repositories for core and UI, and then actually develop that in there. So that's your local development environment for putting features into the cables UI and helping us develop cables any further, which is why this, from our perspective, is one of the last steps that we need to actually go open source to not only give you source, but also give you tools to actually work with the source. So that's the idea, that's the state of things. There will be, you know us, there will be a lot of increments and a lot of first versions and features missing, and we find out what we need and what we're missing on the way. But we're kind of planning to put out a first version of this by, let's say, end of January, February, something like this. Because actually I'm pretty happy with that already. Need some refinements, some less hard coding, I guess. But let's clean this up and put this out and see where we go with this.
Yeah, I love it. Good job, guys. It looks really interesting, the possibilities of this, huh? Because now you can, let's say you want to automate just some stuff on your computer, even if you don't want to do graphics, then you could, right? It could be you have cables on the front end on the web and cables in the back end doing some stuff, and they communicate in a way, right? So you have one framework for a bit of back end as well.
Yeah, also generating images and replacing them while the file names basically stay the same, and then rotating the images, or even, I don't know, re-rendering stuff and then exporting them and not having to upload this again and reload makes a lot of sense, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I love it. But can you? I didn't get the last part. Like, so what you said about the UI, like you before open sourcing, you want to create tools to play with the UI. Is it what you said?
No, the thing is, like, now we're having, for offline use, basically we have the cables exports to play back your patches. We have cables the player, which is a bit dated, but also lets you pick and import patches for playback. Now we have this application, or once we put it out, we have this offline application which gives you the editor to work on patches and everything, and ops. And you can also, I didn't show this, but this is broken. But this gives you the op editor, and you can also not use this, but you will also be able to create ops and code in that. But on top of that, we want to enable you to actually work on the UI itself. So all these features, so should this be a slider, should this work differently, or should this be green or whatever? Do you need a feature to install NPM packages from right here? Somehow, I don't know, could touchscreen usage be better? Anything that works with the actual, not working on patches, but working on cables itself, would then be done in this, what then becomes a development environment for features on cables and the editor itself.
But does it mean that, imagine you have a cool feature here, then it could be implemented on the web as well, or it will always stay local?
That's the idea. I mean, you check out the repo, you implement the feature, you do the pull request, and then we.
Yeah, okay. It's
then
a
we
real,
find.
like, okay.
Yeah, it's
Open
really
sourcing
open
the
source.
cables UI.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, and the cables UI is basically like we prepared this for years basically. So the code is really, there's really no difference. There's some stuff related to open a file from a URL or open a file from the hard drive, etc. But the main UI code is it's totally the same, and this works really nice. And we have some sandboxing wrapper thing for Electron. But yeah, this was also prepared in the last years already, that we know basically which features can be done in the browser and which features can be done differently. And then so the UI code is 100% the same. So we can open this, and if you fix a bug in the Electron version of the UI, then it will also be fixed in the web, basically. Yeah.
So very cool, very cool.
Yeah. Any other questions?
Yes. Go faster.
Go first.
I want to play with this soon.
Yeah. Yeah, I always thought about like the situation of having an installation or whatever. Do you think about like a player mode also, that you can not start the editor but have like a drag and drop, click, load and play, auto load, whatever, a patch function or possibility with this local version?
Yeah, I think what I just showed is this pop-out canvas thingy that we're working on also works. But what Tom said is like, now I'm fighting with Electron. What Tom said is it would be nice if, let's reload this.
I think you have a second window somewhere.
Yeah, okay, well, maybe.
Just go to the.
Where's the terminal thingy?
Yeah.
There, let's just kill it. What Tom said is, so if this application would save basically the state of this, so next time I open it, it would be like this.
Great, sorry, I didn't get it.
Then you'd have the player and the editor in the same thing, right?
Totally makes sense.
And does this work with what you did when you can split the editor and the renderer in another window? Is it working
I think
the
I
same?
just did this right. So this is pop-out canvas. So yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, because then you could automate like that. Yeah, one screen it's always in full screen when you launch the computer. I mean, and then one is the editor, and you can live code as a VJ or
Yes.
whatever.
Yeah, you have also way more control about multiple screens and stuff like this, because all the security stuff is just not there, and it's way easier to position stuff. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
Yeah,
do you
that would be the next question. Like, but I think it's still possible to have like several pop-up windows, and then you put them on different screens or two projectors or more.
Yeah, no problem. You can do that.
Perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, like in the web version. you
Already.
can-
Yeah.
and that was like, yeah, basically our last week or something. And Panda will also show more of this, but we're right now in a feeling of, whoa, okay, something clicks, because like this again, this is the same code, this is cables as it would be running in a browser. It's kind of, yeah, okay, you have to do some Electron packaging and convincing it to actually not be a browser, but yes, everything just kind of works somehow.
So is there a special variable that you like? If I want an op that only works in the a node, I mean Electron build, right? There's is some kind of variable you can play to say, be careful, you cannot load npm whatever because it's not on the web, right? So,
We will have to do this basically. So right now, and we're just starting to talk about this today. Basically, I think we're going to use extensions a lot more. They are kind of the small sidekick of team ops right now, but with this, I think we will have to do something like, okay, you can download a zip file of an extension, put it in some directory and unpack it there, and then it would have to come with its own node modules or whatever. We don't know yet, but this will need some description in some JSON file that basically then says you're only able to run on Electron or something like this. That's kind of the direction we're thinking in.
okay, cool. And just one question, silly question. Is there any limitation, like if you run an Electron, can you say now I want an 8K texture, or is it because it's on like a local machine, or is there some kind of a it doesn't change anything because it's still a Chromium under the hood, or is there we can have bigger resolution or anything because it's a Electron build?
Good question. We don't know yet. It could be that you can bypass the angle renderer layer thing and just switch to real OpenGL, but I'm not sure. That could be done a few years ago, but I'm not sure if this is still a thing. But yeah, we will explore that for sure.
Yeah, really cool, guys. Yes, if you guys get this thing to run host code, then this is really a game changer, like Kirill was saying, because you cables just becomes basically a general no code tool, right? You can do anything with it.
Yeah, you can replace N and N8N, maybe you know this, or Zapier, or Enzo, like there are many node-based stuff that are only working in the
Yeah.
on the computer, but not on the browser. And then you have something much bigger. You can do both, and it's I think quite easy to get any NPM to connect to Google Sheets. Right? We talked about this,
Yeah, for
which is
example,
actually
for sure.
impossible to do, and here it would be very simple, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and even where you were talking about bypassing those limitations, if you can write code in the side of the host, you can just you know bypass that by running that in the host and then passing the data
Yeah, for sure.
in
It's
some way
also
to the browser. You can
like,
do anything basically.
yeah, it's really like, yeah, we just start thinking like this native way. Like, I think what Kirel said, like, I never thought about this, but yeah, we could have an operator that starts a web server, and then you can, I don't know, whatever, like, write, like, generate images that are delivered by this web server or stuff like this, like there's just yeah, there's a lot of possibilities of stuff that we haven't thought about yet. And yeah, and when this is really open and really easy to develop for, with the whole npm universe, then yeah, it will be amazing. Yeah, I'm sure.
And you can just food for thoughts, right? But then if it's local, then you can run Llama or like any LLM, like ChatGPT locally, and then you can make a cool app that never very secure, right? Never leaves your computer, and then you have this assistant or you can talk to. I mean, it's I would see that as a cool demos to show on YouTube, and but I think it's much more flexible than existing no code tools because they are higher level nodes, right? They are like, oh, this is a node for to talk to Google Sheet, but with cables you can go like down to the wire. You can have maybe with the sub patches like bigger nodes like the Google Sheet nodes, but if you really need to code some kind of low level nodes, it can be done. So I don't know, controlling your LED lights from your home automation stuff, right? Very easy to do with this.
That seems to be almost a perfect transition. Like going from low level and higher level up and the ease of use and convenience operators to where we're up now is Pandor is gonna show you something, and I'm not sure if we need to switch seats.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Okay.